Do any of you ever make the same mistake twice? Then you'll appreciate what I'm getting ready. Can everybody hear me well?
Yes.
Good. Then you'll appreciate what I'm getting ready to tell you now, how not to do that again, okay? Several years ago, I lived in a little cabin back up in a holler, some few miles outside of Boone, and was a beautiful little cabin. Didn't have a hot water heater. Didn't have a heater. Had running water, ran full time in the kitchen. Didn't have a bathroom. Had an outhouse, but I put a bathroom in it and put a little heater in it. And just up the valley from where I lived an elderly couple, the Johnsons, great people, Howard and Mary. And one day Howard came down to my house and knocked on the door. And I went to the door and I said, "Howard, how are you doing? Come on in." Well, he said, "I'm okay, Joe," but said, "Mary, my wife, said she died last night." And I said, "Howard, I'm so sorry." Well, he said, "She did," and said, "You know, we're very poor, and poor people have poor ways," and said, "I know you've got that pickup truck still, haven't you?" And I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Well, I got Phil, the carpenter, on up the valley to make a box to put her in, a coffin, and said, I wondered if you'd mind using your pickup truck, and we'll take her up the hill and bury her on top of the hill at the cemetery." I said, "Howard, I'll be glad to." So I get to pick up the coffin, and we go up to the house, and he and I put her in the box. And we put it on the back of the pickup, and we headed up the hill to the cemetery. And just as we got to the cemetery, someone had dug a drainage ditch to let the water run off across the road. And I hit it pretty hard. And we got to the cemetery, and I could hear a coming from inside that box. So we got out and opened it, and Mary sat up grinning from ear to ear. And what had happened, of course, is I crossed that ditch. It had caused a CPR and brought her back to life. Well, I took them back home, and we put the coffin in Howard's barn, and I went home, and I guess it was a year and a half later, Howard came back down to the house, knocked on my door again. I went to the door. I said, "Howard, how you doing?" Well, he said, "I'm all right, but Mary, she up and died again last night." And said, "I know you still got that pickup, and I've got the box in the barn. Would you mind helping me and take her back up on the hill?" I said, "I'll be glad to, Howard." So we got in the pickup, and we put Mary in the box, and we headed up the hill. And just as we got to that drainage ditch, Howard reached over and grabbed me by the arm and said, "Slow down, son. Here's where we made our mistake last time."